Hi, ladies and gentlemen. This is Nina, your host. Welcome to the Thai Show. Thank you so much for being part of this show. Thank you so much for joining us every show that we have been there. And I hope you're still continuing to follow us on all our platforms, that is social media platforms, IG, YouTube, but no TikTok, but you're heading there. So I want to take this opportunity to welcome you to the amazing show of the month of February, the pressure of Valentine's and the month of Valentine's that comes with love and sharing in different aspects. But today we are going to get to discuss this from two different perspectives, from two amazing gentlemen. So it's an honor for me to welcome my two guests who are going to take this opportunity to introduce themselves.
Thank you so much for having us. It's an honor. My name is Kanda Wangari. I'm currently a student at Park University doing the course of Bachelor of Commerce. Yes. Apart from that, I am saved.
Yeah.
And dating.
Yeah, we're going to get there.
Hey guys, my name is Steve Kamau. Nakama down, but this time I'm on this other side of the bench and I'm saved. I do a lot of things. I'm a host of a show called Tupatani. I work with the Vemoa. I also have a podcast channel called Men's Connect, and I do among all other things. I'm a voiceover artist, just to mention a few.
Oh, please.
And I'm humbled to be here today with you, Nina.
Oh, yes. This guy is used to being the host, so but it is well. So, guys, I will discuss this. Not tunaongea tu.
Yes.
Yeah, so we will go to Brown. I'm going to call you Brown. And
Okay.
Brown. So, Brown,
Uh-huh.
can you tell us about dating? Are you in a relationship? Tell us.
First of all, let me start by saying Sijawa.
Point of clarification.
Point of clarification. I'm still new at this. So, Kenya Nasema is from my own personal experience and my own opinion, my own perspective, my own point of view. I'm currently in a relationship that has been there for quite a while, one year, 2 months.
Okay.
1 year, 2 months. And kuna kogana ile honeymoon phase.
Hata kwa dating relationship.
Oh,
really? Oh.
Honeymoon phase. Trying to impress the other half.
Okay.
Yeah. Ndio kumwonyesha, from one's perspective, I can't take you.
So this is hii imekuwa for how long, like kama 1 year ama bado mnacheza bado hiyo
Wacha tuseme honeymoon phase yetu iliisha December.
After 1 year.
From January, yeah.
Okay,
So it's all about being taken out, kuambiana, I don't care about how much you have, to get us the going. After 1 year.
hapo ndio kinaumana.
Unaga vitu
So this is in dating.
It is intended.
Okay, pause. Let me go to now Steve. Steve, now tell us about you. Are you in a relationship?
No, I'm not. I'm single. And, I'm loving the space. It's not easy. And I think you've said something on relationships and just February being a month of relationships and of love. And something beautiful is that I always think, why celebrate only love in February?
Yeah.
Well, besides that, I'm single and I'm mingling.
First of all, were you in a relationship before? Is this by choice?
If I say before is a while. Before is 2 years.
Oh, that's how long you've been
Yes.
single.
Yes.
Wow. And how is it being single?
It's not
For you?
easy. It's not easy. First of all, lonely. It's not. Well, it's not lonely. It's you feel alone a couple of times, and having a friend as him having the lady they're in a relationship with. Many other times, if we're in the same environment, you tend to think, should I add someone in this space? Not because there's the need,
You feel like
because
you're left out?
you feel you are a third party.
Yeah, I get
So
you.
there are struggles, I wouldn't lie, in all aspects, relational, even mental, emotional, but well, we keep going a day at a time.
I'll come back to you. You said the first 1 year was to kupambana and all that stuff, yeah? So now we're in this past 1 year phase. How is it that you manage to keep up this dating? How are you keeping it the fire going? Because kama ni dating na 1 year una feel hivi boss. How is it now? past now the 1 year honeymoon part?
I was once told that love is a choice.
Mm.
It's a choice that you make each and every day, each and every time. Like you wake up, you choose to love the other person, regardless of whatever baggage they have, whatever, regardless of whatever luggage they have. Siku rahisi, kuna time unamkanga, unaona umdema behave venye anafaa kuwa na behave venye anataka. Unajua umezoea kuna ule mdema anataka kwa akili. This is my ideal kind of woman. But hautaipata the ideal kind of woman. Hautaipata. Inakuwa tu wa fasada. Juu inakuwa nini? Nataka mdemo mwenye ako na feeling inakaa hivi, hii rangi ako na tabia zinakaa hivi.
Boss, sorry. This is at what age are you describing this? How? Okay, sorry. Nitoyaje. You've had a certain kind of image of who you want.
Yeah.
And what you are in right now is completely saa zingine zinagongana.
Zinagongana. So unajua kuna vitu zinaitwa goals. Mabao. Yeah. Kuna tutaona couple utaona nataka mdemo wangu kwa hivi. So unarudisha from perspective kwa kichwa ya nataka kuona maisha inakaa hivi. So mdemo asipo fall in line unafeel hapana. This is not for me. See God ameamua amlete kwa maisha yangu. So imekuwa ngumu, imekuwa tough because now it's when you're getting to know the person for who they really are. Because ashapita ile phase ya I'm trying to impress you. Ushaingia box. What next? Anajua huwezi toka due to the words that have been shared, the experiences that you've shared along the way. So it becomes difficult since the guy that you had formed in your head is not the person that you actually see. And the guy who has been there for the last 1 year is not the same person.
Yeah, no.
So when you start a relationship with a lie, you need a lie to sustain it. So it's quite important to lay the foundation of kwanza ni God. And God ni truth. So who are you?
Unajua tunaweza ongea naye 5 hours. Tusahau Steve amekaa hapo kwa amependa. Now, Steve.
Yeah.
You being single in this society and the pressures and the expectations, let me just say expectations of the society and love and all that, and your age. Considering nikusha wale mabesti wengi wenye mnachezanga nao wale wase you hang around with, most of them are dating, if I'm wrong.
Actually,
if I'm wrong,
interestingly enough, actually most of them even have kids now.
Oh, okay. Does that give you like?
Well, you know, if they ask you a question, they expect you to also be in the same space where they are. And for me, at times, it is, you ask yourself questions, but also you ask yourself, is it a choice you decided to be here at this particular time?
Was it by choice?
Yeah, it was by choice because I had, and what he's saying, at times you enter in spaces with expectations, which most of people deny to say.
Yeah.
In relationships, I believe everyone has an expectation. Same case for you, I believe you're married, and there are expectations.
Oh, yes, I don't believe I'm married.
Even though you're not articulating them, they are there.
Okay.
So it's a choice, and for me, it was a choice made after the last relationship, which I felt it was time for me to take a break, because also looking at a relationship, it needs you to be there. More like friendship, you know. It changed my perspective on how I look at also not only how do I take care of you because I'm interested in you only, but I also take care of people who are around me, the watchman I meet at the gate, you know. Now it came back to me as a question. Am I doing it specifically for you? And which is not wrong, but is that who I am? So, but if there was another backstory of why I chose to be single, not that I love not even the thought, but the beauty of an institution like marriage and just relationship. And so with him, what him saying, I believe your time, well, honeymoon face ni beautiful. Sasa mtu anaanza kuvaa hata promotional t-shirts. Ataacha kuja mnaacha kupatana kila saa kwa restaurant. Anaanza come home na stockings kwa kichwa. But well, so for me it's a choice. For me it's a choice. And also thinking about is there pressure? Yeah. I think if I say there is not, I'll be lying. Because everywhere you go. Now, funny enough, in the month of February, that's why I always have a problem. people turning it a month of love because I'm wondering what is happening in March, what is it up? Is there love in January, you know? But it's so amplified in February. Like right now, there are memes, there are people even who text you, Buddha, Rada, tunataka kujukuaje, tulete mtu, you know, and genuinely, for a man, it is pressure because you want to impress.
Question.
Yes.
I'm coming back to you. Do you have pressure also from the girls? Kuna vile wanakujanga wanajipa ama?
Acha nikwambie. Hakuna kitu ngumu. Kama mdemu kuuliza, unajua for you ladies it's hard for you to ask a man to be your boyfriend, so. You know? It's now say kwanza kuna guts. Now so for my man unaanza kufeel, oh yeah, is this reverse apology because I'm the person who is supposed to ask, wako. Na mwisho kwanza ni wenyewe wanauliza kwa nini unitextiki? Kwa nini unipigiagi? Hadi unashindwa, unafaa kukupigia. You know, those people who tell you nimekumiss but unashindwa, by this sijakumiss. Lakini sitaki kukumiss. And then nakwambia nimekumiss but now unaanza to build up expectation from the person. Because for me I've had that a couple of times. People who will come to you expecting. Let me give you a scenario. There was this time I knew a lady and I'm a caring guy, so I want to take care of you. Nikaanza kumzindi, nampeleka home, ana sitaki ako, huyu Steve. Little did I know the lady had introduced me to her parents. Anasema kuna boy anaitwa Steve, anafanyaga in the church. I'm like, okay, mimi sina shida, but sasa naona watu wake wanataka kunijua. Wewe ndio Steve. Huyu msichana amechange kutoka amekuona, anakuongeleaga sana. Little did I know I was in a relationship, but I never knew.
I get you.
And now she's beautiful. And now she's expecting you to acknowledge that amekuchagua wewe. Haufai kukataa. And it was hard.
Let me ask you. I'm coming back to you.
Yes.
Yes. Niko na question now. Now you are tumeshajua, umeshapita hiyo, umeshacheza, umeshapamba, umeshafanya kila kitu. Sasa tumeingia league ya stockings according to Steve. Now, this girl that you're dating, she's also in school?
Yeah, she's in school.
Okay. You know her family? Have you been introduced to the family? Do they know your family? Considering it's 1 year?
Hiyo step ni kubwa sana regardless of whether imekuwa 1 year or not. Because remember at the end of the day we're still students.
Okay.
Now, we are very careful to understand the fact that our relationship shouldn't be a distraction to us wherever we want to go. It's really important to understand that before we met each other, we each had a vision.
Yeah.
There's a place that we intended to go. Now, it becomes tricky. If where she's heading is not where you're heading, how do you, let me not use the term compromise, but how do you make sure that whatever you have is healthy enough and your vision and her vision can interject? Or
by the time you're hitting 1 year, you must have seen whether we are going towards the right direction, ama tuna waste time hapa, because unajua sasa hakuna time ya waste.
Yeah.
And you know, being in a Christian setting, I believe you guys are in a Christian setting.
Yes, we
unajua sasa itafika time mwanze kuona kama either tunaenda, are we heading somewhere or not? By the time you're hitting that 1 year mark, I'm sure you've already seen.
Yeah.
You shouldn't waste each other's time.
Yes.
So
I'm speaking from a different perspective, right? Career-wise.
Okay.
In terms of where your purpose is, where my purpose is. Unajua pia bado kuna personal growth because me and a difference of 4 years. So there's some spaces I cannot rush into because also myself when I was there, I needed to pass through something to be who I am today. So I'm really careful with the kind of decisions that I make, that she makes, that we make. Ndio isikuwe point nafika nasema, you didn't allow me to pass through this phase. Ndio maana niko venye niko. I should also allow her space for growth. Sijamvisha pete. Bado ana grow. Bado nina grow. Bado jifika kwa point ya we may set out that the target is marriage, but there's a process to go through up until that. There's a journey to go through. There's a river to cross before you get there.
That is amazing. Totally much respect. Now, back to Steve. There's something I want to ask.
Yeah.
You said you would love to be in that space of having that relationship with someone? Or,
Yeah.
Now, would you mind sharing an experience that from the last 2 years
Yeah.
has made you be in this, ni kama kalimbo, eh? Go to hapo
Wow.
tu, pali huko, you don't know whether you want to go into this or not. What caused you
To make the choice.
to make the choice?
First of all, I think she's an amazing lady, and maybe if she's watching, and I believe maybe if she will come across this, I want to acknowledge she's not a bad person. She's good. Maybe the action she took was not favorable for us at the time. So I find this amazing and beautiful lady. We meet at a club in Nakuru, and we had met earlier in a different setting because we were friends. Yeah. So genuinely, I got to meet this person who is caring and who is quote unquote my ideal. And maybe there are things that she has I felt I will live with. And I'm ready to work around things. I'm ready to not to tolerate but to compromise some things just for her. So I got to ask questions because I'm a straightforward person. Are we friends? Where are we? And I came out and I was like, yo, I'm interested in you. I love how you are. I love your character, and I would like us to do life together. And doing life, I would like us to date. What do you think? And she was like, cool. I'm mature. Let's do this. Now, there's something she never said. She was in a relationship at the time, but she never told me. This is something I got to know later on after all this happened. So, and so we pushed on. She came. She didn't have a job. I'm thankful that she got a job now where she is also. And she continually got promotions, and now she's in a better place, I believe. So little did I know, as we continually, I would ask her, hey, where we would share visions, where we are, what he has done. Now this time, this certain day, I'm at home. It was in the evening. It was in 2016, 17, 18, around that time. So I'm at home. Someone calls me. Ambia, when ndio Steve? Nikamwambia yes, mimi ndio Steve. Akaniambia unajua nani? I'm like yeah. Now the funny thing that I found suspicious was that she called me first and told me that there's someone who will call you and tell and will say that we are friends. I never got to understand what do you mean, because it was kuna mtu akupigia mwambie si friends. I'm like okay, let's play this because I really don't know what's happening. And so this person calls me and he's like, oh, naitwa nani, unataka kuvunja familia za watu. So like, family.
Maybe she was married?
No, she wasn't. But maybe a relationship, maybe the guy thought they were heading somewhere. Because later on I got to understand, this guy who called me first is a friend to the dude.
Oh. So
maybe... Now, the funny thing he asked was, I can see the messages you're sending to Willie. Sorry, mentioning the name. I was like, okay, first of all, how has he gotten the messages?
The messages,
I'm like, well, what do you mean? And I'm like, and it was around 6 in the evening. And so he was like, yo, let's meet at CID. Like, where? Kiambu Road. In the evening. I'm not coming. But he continually became persistent. And so me, I hung up and I decided to call the lady. I'm like, what up? What it is? What is the name in a skiza? And I can imagine, what's Jali? But I'm still worried because who calls me, tells me, let's meet at this particular point, and even I don't know. First of all, I'm a Bangor.
Yeah.
So, to cut the long story short, the lady, akanyamaza. I can block. Now, she can call me, but I cannot call her. The dude now, his then boyfriend, I can pick and now, funny enough, I knew the guy. I'm like, yo, bro, niaje, niko poa, niambie. Kaniambia, nasikia, unataka kunitoka mdemu. I'm like, wait a minute. Mgani? Sama, no, I cannot. At the back of my mind, I'm like, I don't want to enter because I cannot imagine handling all this, and I never knew what was happening.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
How long had you guys been dating?
I think around a year.
Okay.
Around a year. And whatever he was saying, if you started with a lie, you will sustain it with a lie. And so The guy calls me and I started quote unquote kusafisha jina yangu, nimsafishia hata side yake, the lady. And I'm like, yo bro, I have nothing. And we were cordial. But I told him I never liked what that dude did. And so the dude later on called me, apologized. I'm like, cool, me, I have nothing against you. But I still, now, there was something that happened. That was a wound.
Yeah,
Remember, and maybe for me, I had grown, I've been brought up by my mom. So I had a father wound. So I felt like I needed to prove myself. And this was one of the ways. And now her doing this, it amplified a wound.
So now you're still...
Now I start blaming myself. I started feeling I'm not worthy enough, that this person decided to lie to me. Those are some of the thoughts that were running in my mind. So I cut connection with the lady. But there's something I really wanted to have, was closure. Why did you do what you do? Why did you decide to lie? Why you would have come out and say, I'm in a relationship, and I would have really accepted. Now, this is one of the worst things, because I still had a wound. I wanted to do what they said I had done.
Yeah. Oh.
So I wanted to do it in other people's relationships. So I would meet up with a lady friend. Akiniambia kwanza in a relationship, na feel niko motivated kutoka huyo boy. Because sasa nina wound ya lazima nijionyeshe, lazima nitokee. Sema mimi ndio ule mbaya. Because I knew I can do that.
Yeah. And you could get away with it.
Yeah. Now there's this one lady. Kaniambia, why are you not respecting my religion? And I felt it was a blow. I felt, man, by then I'm not. And I tried justifying, but well, my friendship never.
Do you think that's now you are in a place where you are closing yourself from outside?
No. Now later on, if then I did. But now I'm well. Now me choosing to be single, it's from first of all personal development.
Okay.
Now this other person coming is not coming to compliment me. Is not coming to make me fool. It's just complimenting one another. Because even looking at now relationship, my view on relationship has changed. Now what he's saying, yes, physical is the first thing. The physicality of a lady is the first thing I see. But that's not the foundation of my relationship. Now it's more than that.
I'll give you 5 seconds.
All right.
As I ask Steve one more question. One more question before we go for a break. Now, Sam, being in this relationship after all that you've had, and now I'm taking it from him to you. This is a relationship 1 year. He's been all through. He's committed to this girl and all that, and you see that where he is. You have a vision. Your girlfriend will have a vision. You have. Now, how do you guys sit together? Do you guys have mentors? How do you work on your relationship? From a point where, first of all, but reality check, how do you build that relationship to keep it a safe zone?
Let me first start by saying your commitment towards something is not dependent on another person's level of commitment. It's dependent on you. You're doing this for you. You understand? Speaking of safe spaces, kuna kuganaka kaufala kaukuaka, you should get, other than me, you should get someone to talk to mwenye atakusaidia through this. Hata kama ni of the same sex. Hiyo ni upuzi. Sababu ndakuambia story lakini sija communicate na nani.
Na Steve yake ni tofauti na yako.
Completely different. Nikienda ku clear out my heart, siendi ndio Steven ni huruma, nataka Steven support. Alifanya ufala. Jumi nikitoa machungu na toa machungu ya. I want to paint a certain perspective here. The other person is on the wrong.
Yes.
Okay.
I want you to be on my side.
So one of the ways that we've been able to maintain whatever we have, the relationship that we have, is through honest and critical thinking. Yeah. Let's reason together. Mimi, umedu hivi. What if I did this? What if I was in your shoes? What if you were in my shoes? How would you feel?
Communication.
I found emotions are really effective in trying to communicate your issues, because it is in two ways. It's either you become irrational due to what has been been done or said, or you become rational and feel whatever the other person is feeling and see where your mistake was. So as far as that is concerned, people say that in a relationship you shouldn't be sentimental, you shouldn't be emotional. But at the end of the day, there's something that you see in the other person that attracts you. An attraction is a feeling, it's an emotion. So don't shy it away. Don't shy from it. The other thing is on mentors. In as much as we are together, I will not really advocate for us being in the same space or having the same mentor. Why? Because there's a certain perspective that one mentor might have, na kuna mwingine akona that huyu mwingine haoni. So we like outsourcing from different people. Then we come together. This is what I've learned. This is what I have learned when we come together. I agree with this, but I don't agree with this. Why? Let's resonate together.
Wow. Because ninalana hata mimi in my old age.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be back right after this. Thank you.
Imagine a life where all children get a fair chance to grow, learn, not worry, and just be happy, because no child should carry the burden of worry in their minds. Imagine a life where one child does not ridicule another because they have less and ends up making them feel less of a person just because they cannot afford the basics. Imagine a life where all children interact on a level playing field, because at the end of the day, they are just kids, and none of them should feel less or better than the other. Imagine a life where all school-going children are dignified the same way, and no one has to walk in shame with their heads bowed. Now stop imagining, because we need to create this kind of life for all children before it's too late. Because it's easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. We need to create environments where children feel safe and brave enough to tell us what scares them. An environment where going to school brings about excitement to learn and not the fear of being ridiculed by others because of your humble background. An environment where no matter what, a child sees school as a place where they feel comfortable enough to gain the knowledge that brought you there in the first place. An environment where girls and boys are taught how to take care and value themselves. We have made steps and even walked miles to be able to create this kind of environment for our children. Every day, we strive to put a smile on a child's face by doing the most we can and appeal to you to join our cause. At Ewemwa, we aim to restore and bring back the dignity that our children may have lost in ways they cannot explain. We need your help so that we can keep this hope alive, because our children are counting on us and we cannot fail them.
Valentine's, love, purity. This conversation, yani, there's so much to discuss, so let's not waste more time. We want to hear from this young man from where we left. So I'll take it up with Sam. Sam, now you told us you have mentors, you have people who you're looking up to. Now I'll ask a very, not sensitive in a per se, just clear for purity and sex. In this time and age, how do you keep within the Christian aspect of relationships?
Umesema hivyo nikafilika kuna button ya now speak as a Christian.
No.
But I don't understand what it is that you're saying. Being a Christian does not negate the fact that sex has no religion.
Yeah.
Sex, regardless you're saved or not, the feelings will still be there. The attraction towards the opposite sex will still be there. And being a Christian and maintaining sexual purity becomes harder.
Yeah.
Why? Because rules make you want to do something even more.
Yeah,
Because
I know.
you feel
don't. That's
Don't.
when you want to go.
that is
finally,
your curiosity. And in being a Christian, there are principles that guide your everyday living. And it even goes deeper to a point of, even if you don't commit the act. But think of it, it's as if you've already committed
Yeah.
the act. You've already fornicated. So, as Sam, it has been really a challenge on my side because I really need to make sure that we are not in a space where we are not alone. It's not that I'm not responsible, no.
Yeah.
It's the fact that I know who I am
And
and
things
how
may happen.
and things. At the end of the day, I'm still human, in as much as I'm a Christian.
Are you a Christian human or are you
Are you a Christian? I need to clarify on
That's
that.
a question.
Wow. That's a really great question. I'm a human
Who is a Christian?
who is a Christian.
Not a Christian, who is a
I'm
human.
a Christian who is a human.
Yeah.
I'm a human who is a Christian. And by having mentors does not mean that the feelings are not there, but it has made things easier. It has made mitigating sex, maintaining our purity to be easier. And I wouldn't want to lie by saying once you get saved, once you become a Christian, that
Actually,
part
feelings as it comes.
zinaenda
I get you,
miraculously, they're not
True.
there. They're still there. And being a Christian is a privilege. Getting saved is a privilege. Because you making that choice of, I know the principles that guide Christianity and I still choose to stand by them and not actually engage in any sexual activity, even if you're sexually active, even if the other partner is.
What do you mean?
Unajua pia hivyo, unajua labda wewe as Sam kanaweza amkaseme I have my principles.
Yeah.
The other partner labda hayuko the same.
No.
Are you
Tuanze
calling?
hapo.
No, let me interject.
Yes.
There are 3 things. Every relationship is different. And everyone is different.
Yeah.
But there are 4 things that are constant in all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of whether you believe in God or not. God, love, respect, integrity, trust.
Ulikuwa umesema 4 but tutaongeza hiyo moja. Tutaongeza hiyo moja.
Trust. Whether you are a pagan or not.
Yeah.
Those are the things that maintain a healthy relationship. So hata kama mseko na principles different, basis, foundation is the same.
What do you think, Steve? Hata nikurushe kwa hii.
Purity.
Hata nikurushe kwa hii.
Watu wanasema the same thing. Sex, but well,
What do you think about
there's something Sam ametouch on na amesema choice. It's a choice, you know. It's not that ukifanya ama usifanye wewe ndio unajua, because wewe ndio unaamua. It's not easy first of all. Well, this society yetu man. And what he has said, at times saa zingine tuna assume ni kama tuna nguvu. Tunasoma word. Unajua acha tunasoma word and then ako home. And then kidogo unaanza kufeel ni watu tulikuwa tunasoma kweli. Because now forgetting
prayer partner?
umeanza sio omba tu. Unaona? Well, it's not easy. I wouldn't lie. I think at times you need to. It's a self-aware choice you make every day. Unajua mdema come home or even though vitu zitaenda. And I think most of us young people do not want to accept that. Ukiuliza Sam sasa zile girlfriend yake amecome home anakuwa aware nani ako around.
Yeah.
Unajua ndio najua naweza fanya ufala, because if we are not careful tutaanza kucheza tu games fulani hapa tujipate tumeenda kwa bed.
And you know ukisha start kujitoa.
Hata msho ati tulikuwa tu tunaona movie, ulikuwa kwa ile sofa, alikuwa kwa ile sofa, you never know how it happened.
Yeah.
But because you compromised, unajua. So first of all, choice. Regardless if unajua God ama ujui, it's a choice you always make. Unajua God anatu assist to make the right choice. Na the faith and the Holy Spirit helps us to make that right choice. Si rahisi. So mtu ana Christ inakuwa ngumu juu sasa ana follow venye flesh na feel. Kuna mtu ata live right, lakini Kenya ana live right ni tu venye ana feel. Unaelewa? Juu kimweka into that, hata msho tukiweka kwa hii situation tuseme a lady is here or we're in this place and we are dating and our girlfriends are around, yeah? There's one thing that will, or one person who will help you stay sane. Na ni Holy Spirit. Kwa nini? Sasa unaenda kukomitia kitu, kuna every time una feel kwa hati yako kuna unaambia chorea mnajua wewe umechora.
Unasikia lakini
unakaribia sana. And then unajua sasa unaanza kufeel kama unaanza kusikia intentions zako. Unaanza kujua sijamkaribia nimsalimie. Sijamkaribia tucheze. Kuna intentions at the back of your mind. So it's a possible direction or a path, but it needs you to make that choice consistently.
So now since tuko kwako, hata tucheze kwako. So whether you've been single,
yeah.
So what are you looking for right now? If now nikwambie Steve, what are you looking for in a relationship?
I think basically purpose. Hiyo ndio kitu nimelearn. Make mistakes juu sipo najua kwa nini tuko pamoja. Say I ask tough questions to even myself and the party involved. Tunadu ndio tujue tunaenda. Because first of all, there's something he has touched on. The foundation, who is our foundation? Ni God, ni do, ni nguo zetu, ni venye tunataka. Wasewa tuone, ni mabao, ni goals. Wasewa juage we, ukiona wala wabili wakiroll kwa street, ni goals. Watu wasema.
Kuna expectations zako labda zinawezafanya maybe usipate. Unaweza kuwa na expectations zingine. Udeni bila na Steve hivi lakini
expectations imehappen. Ndio nilikuwa nasema hatuwezi kataa expectations. Ziko. Na mimi sitakudanganya, mimi nakam na expectations. Na maybe expectations zangu sikuimpose, sikwambii lazima ikuwe, but na feel tunaweza work together. Na mimi na feel ni democracy tukae down tuongee. Una expect nini? Juu tusidanganyane. Kila mtu ana kama expectation kwa table. Ni venye mmoja ameshow card yake expectation, yule mwingine anaficha. Ndio maybe anaweza share expectation vitu ziende wrong ama so I tend to think na sama anaweza niambia juu wako in a relationship and you being married. Lazima tukam tuongee tuka the round table because kuna vitu yana expect. Kuna vitu the party ana expect, kuna vitu mimi na expect nikipasu. Ndio tunasema is this your ideal person?
No. Let me interject there. My point on expectations is Steve, kama unataka kukatia sasa for example nini a younger version of me.
Anina.
Now, you come expecting or with your past experiences, you have this pain, so unakuja maybe expect go through the same experience. So unaletea udem picture fulani, sasa hata labda ile kitu unataka udem hizi lakini udem labda mkikana she's a good person. Maybe she's not the same person as who you. Well, expectations zako zinaweza kufanya usipate udem. Unaelewa?
Na get na palpia unakam because naangalia unajaribu ku curb kitu yenye na mara moja ilikuwa inani affect na stop kudanganya. Sasa hii ni different. Sasa hii nikiingia nataka kujua.
Exactly.
Na get. Then na start feature after that experience and maybe everyone may be or someone may be or maybe one of us who has undergone a breakup one time or twice, however times, unatakaga kukabio kitu isi happen. Na ukikabio kama ni iko the top of your mind, you distract hingine. Juu sasa una fight something isikue. Same case ni kama nilikuwa hurt na my parent, nitaingia relationship ama relationship zangu zitakuwa affected na venye nilitoka. So anytime ukiangalia hata wale wa say for example wako na either a father figure alikuwa absent ama alikuwa abusive, mara moja akitafuta hazi anatafuta hazi mwenye atakuwa babake. Na unfortunately haikuagi hivyo.
Hata jumesema hivyo, acha nitaject tu kidogo na support kile Steve anasema. Kwa sababu hata pia venye ulipatana nao fame pia inamata sana.
Fame for information. Wenye hawajui.
Unapatana nao mdemu inamata sana. Kwa sababu unakokosha sana. So for example, mimi nilipata mdemu wangu nikiona actually ni kitu li happen. Nilipata mdemu wangu nikiona demu mwingine. Una get? Ali come through nikiona fame mwingine. So hii story ni refu. So kuna kuganile constant insecurity ya pekee umdemba nyandika hivi. Si pia naweza machali mwingine bado watu hivyo nitoke ende
the same.
Unaget? So kuna hii insecurity, kuna hiyo fear. Unajitafuta kwa huyo mdemba. Unaget? Ndio asikufanyie venye wewe ulifanya. Unaona? But along the way unajua pia certain insecurities zidai out tu hivyo. Ndio amekwambia by the time leo sitakuwa hivyo. Bado zikuwa. Lakini kuna inadependa venye mdem atabehave ndio venye insecurity itaishia.
Na unajua furthermore insecurity ni personal, unajua. lazima udeal na hiyo insecurity.
Wewe mwenyewe
Umse utakaa wewe ni msempoa, lakini nitakufeel ushapata wala wase hata ukisalimia best yake. Sasa tuseme for him akidate, tuseme kama girlfriend yake kama nsalimie. Unapata kama ako insecure yeye as a person. Hata dem yake akuja nsalimie na mkono hivi. Kwa mind yake ama venye ana function atakuwa na feel. Msee anataka kunitoka.
Kwanza dem yangu kwanza amesmile sana kimgotea.
So unapata ni personal. And so pia mimi venye na relate na wase ndio nasema saa hii nataka kukujua mimi na wewe nani. Unafanya gani? Naweza kukusaidiaje ukue better. Unajua hata tukiwa kwa relationship na imagine ni partnership. Unasikia? Si nani mkali kuliko the other. Ni tukikaa down tunaenda. Na tunafanya hivi si tuna compete because imenisaidia pia kuona venye new tackle conflicts from those jumi angalia naangalia na ni wewe shida ama hii ndio shida. Tunagongana sisi wenyewe ama tunafaa kutatua hii kitu tukiwa pamoja.
Wow.
Then haikuwa just then hata imenisaidia na ubeshte zangu. Hata let alone friendship from different sex. Like even my friends, for example, with Sam, I will sit down. Yeah, we are friends. Yeah. Brothers. But we sit down and talk about what's the problem. Because you're not the problem. This is the problem. And this thing is causing us to have a problem.
Since you're brothers and very good brothers, kuna vile mshai toka na madem as ileta mwanini hiyo kitu tumeita kutoka na madem.
Well,
kuna vile
tunakuwa na different perspective. Yeye kuna yeye
anasema kabla yake.
Well, unfortunately the person was constant. How we viewed it was different.
So kuna vile kuna akija mko
hatukuallow. Stop kudanganya mimi. Ni choice. Juu mimi ningefeel some ni msembaya. But mimi nika down nikasema some si msembaya. I think constant the person alikuwa na alitugonganisha. Let me tell you, that was not the first.
Okay.
Utapata wase wengine kuna mtu ana feel wanakosana na Sama na nikujia. Ndio tugonganishe na Sama. Lakini since si tunajua hakuna kitu itakam between us hata ikwe nani. Tuna make sure hata msa akikam tuna make sure sisi wawili tunajua nini tunajua.
Bado ni love hiyo ni because hiyo ni bromance. Hiyo ndio inaitwa bromance. Now, nataka tu kuuliza sasa tena urushi. You've been dating 1 year plus. Sasa tucheze sasa tunasema na months ndio skill ni nzito. Umepita 12 months.
After 12 months.
Would you give him any advice when it comes to dating? What word of advice would you tell your brother? Amepinduka saa kuangalia na mara. What word of advice would you tell him? Knowing where he's coming from, knowing him as a friend, what would you tell him?
Personally, me ningekushow bro. Usi compromise who you are for who you're not. Na hakuna mse iko ni mwanamume, iko ni dem, iko ni mzae. Hakuna mse mwenye akona power ya kukufanya ukuwe mtu tatu. Bro, kama ujam. Usijifanye ati unagombe tulia na unajua kirudi mtani mwenyewe.
Na ukisimpati hiyo advice unaambia wasi. Ndio unaguzia kwa alafu unataka na wasi. Ya feel the same way.
Alafu kitu inaga haraka. Na usifanye makosa. Unajua watu fanyaje? Utapata mdema ametoka best friend yake, ameenda kutafuta chali huko nje. Inaleta nini? Story. Alafu ukimuuliza na kwambia huyu msee amekuwa hapa before ukam. Then mbona uko naita? Jua shakuwa issue. Usiende kutafuta date based on the physical appearance. Nenda utafute best yako. Msee mwenye ama chali unakagine mna do life naye. Ni aje bro hapa nimelemewa. Ndio tu msee unafaa kwenda tuchapane naye.
You know, the most interesting thing is we don't see unamwona msee mshindana naye. Lakini umeona you know, most people see
msee yuko hapo.
Ule mwenye unaona street. There's something about the person who's far away than who you are. And yet the person who you're with is your best mate, is your companion. So una show, I think pia unaweza involve spirit.
Mimi
kama ni Kikristo, uweze kudisan ama
hata sitaingiza Ukristo, nasema tu wa grow up. During time to before afike hiyo point to realize venye release zinafaa kuwa atakumbuka by then akongana best mahali. mtu wa Wangi mdem hata si story ya yuko kwa sakuli yake, mtu wa Wangi mdem based on a few months of knowing each other. Me before nisuke huyu family tumekuwa mabishte for 3.5 years. Nilimsuka last year but one. So we started kujuana kitambo, and I opted for that since nimekuwa in so many relationships. Kile nasema ni kile nimepitia. Amekuanga hapo, lakini mimi nimekuwa nikitoka nje kwenda kutafuta dema na kafiti na kutafuta clout na kuambiwa
Clout.
cinema goals, but nirudi bado mtaani kwa zoni mdemo ni ambaye nipitia vitu mo. Haimaanishi juu nimekuwa hapo for 3.5 years na maisha ni enough kwa ufame. Bado sichakana, hatujaishi na yeye nyumba moja hivi. Njue ni nani exactly. So
With time, I think what you're saying is with time.
with time,
You get to
time
know.
everything. Time,
Don't
patience,
rush.
respect. Usirash.
So from Sam anasema, don't rush, take your time, get to know who you are with, and also pia usipate pressure. Hakuna pali kitu naishia. Wewe unacheka hata kama nikuuliza swali. Steve,
Yes.
your view on this whole discussion of love being quote unquote February, Valentine's. No? So you, as Steve,
Yes.
in these sittings of Valentine, what are you expecting from it? What do you unacheka? Valentine when inakaa sahi. Unasikia pressure yote sahi in this.
Where is your girl?
That's the funny thing. That's the funny thing. It's pressure mara mob. You come close range. Juu wase uko around. Maybe wase umespend now time sana. Wanakuuliza buda umeamwaje? Unajua buda Valentine niko hapa 14th. Wewe uko peke yako. Now mara mob itatoka nje. But kama mimi sina conflict inside me and sumbui. Kasa isi ainisumbui. Wasa utabonga mtanyamaza. Just nimeland. Sasa siwezi defend juu hayuko, siwezi kukwambia. Unajua tena sasa zingine unaweza rush. Ndio ufili sport. Na hii sport ikwe unaona sasa shida hii ya kufuata the emotion without the thinking. Ni mara moja utajump sana. Ndio ufeel ubambe. Kenya amesema cloud unataka wase wajue kuna watu sasa Valentine hata mshona pressure pia mara moja inatoka pia kwa vitu na fido. Juu kama saa zile vitu mob naangalia sana ni Valentine's ama couples. Kitu inakaa kwa kichwa changu ni uko peke yako. Unadu. So msako home na maybe una struggle kama mimi. Nitakwambia kitu moja. If there is no conflict in the inside, everyone, even your parents, will not deter you to choose what they want. Unajua? And it's very important to ask yourself a question. What's the wise thing to do? That's a very important question you need to ask yourself. What's the wise thing to do? Because at the end of it all, Valentine's being hyped right now because unaingia tao unapata hata nikwambie kama ulikuwa unaenda restaurant hata nikushow umeenda mahali ku take either coffee in the evening una feel hata music hata ambience ina change unaanza kupata ni kama kuna a sense of you missing out. Ndio sasa kuna wase wanaanza kukwambia this restaurant today has given an offer only to couples. Sasa unaanza kujiuliza, yani mimi nalipa hii bei juu ya. So unaanza kutafuta colleague hapo kama mna wako na msitwende hata tukumita. Ndio feel hauko peke yako. Na mara mob tusidana. Utafeel hivyo. But once again, choice una make ni yako. Kama unataka kuingia relationship juu ya quote unquote venye mtasi usema raia, gang, mbogi, utaumia juu mbogi itakuwa always change kenye inataka from you. And for me, I know I am really quote unquote, I don't have the experience of relationships. One thing I can tell everyone, and everyone who is with me right now, and singles, it's very important to make a choice, not based on the environment you're in or how you feel. I pray that wisdom will lead the decisions you make every day. Because for him also wisdom is needed. Where our country or our world right now and our generation is, it's all about how do we look on camera. How is Instagram talking about us? How is Extiandela speaking about me, for example? Unaelewa? using him not as a person,
Yeah.
but as a title he
As a
has
title,
hold
yeah.
as an
Yeah.
influencer. Because everyone is looking at who's the influencer. Because right now, there are vloggers who talk about the best couple in town. Are we looking good? Which restaurant are we eating? Are we matching the right clothes? Are we looking good in the restaurant? How is the billboard, at the end of the day? So basically, that's what I can say. Wisdom is very key. And most importantly, if you're saved, it's very important to have a grounding of God as a leader.
The Christian view.
Yes, if you're not,
Relationships.
yes, if you're
Yeah.
not a Christian, I'm not
No
calling,
judgment.
it's for you to make a choice. And maybe I pray that you shall receive God as your Lord and Savior for Him to be able to lead you. Your life won't change instantly, but He will help you.
Hey, this has been an amazing discussion. Hata nasikia ni kama I need to tuanze discussion
Part
ingine.
two.
Tuende part 3.
Part two, part
Part 4, part 5 yani.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being vulnerable,
You're welcome.
for sharing your story, for hata mimi umenifunza ni 5 because nimekana for
Wow.
5 of how to handle relationships, of how to know how to make the right decision, not based on pressure and based on what is best. First of all, ukishajijua, if you love yourself, you don't need to fill the space by what other people speak into your life. So we want to thank you. Please log in on all our all our social media platforms, IG, Facebook, YouTube, zote. Join and subscribe. When you subscribe, call your people to subscribe. Yani.
Nina,
Evo.
I have something to say before
Yes.
to
Hold on.
Our generation right now doesn't want role models or people to work with. It's very important for each and everyone to have someone you're working with, not to do what they want you to do,
Yeah.
but to guide you in the
Yeah.
path you need to go. Yes.
Wise of wisdom. Thank you so much. We're looking forward to having you again in our next show. God bless you.